गिरिवरदारी नंदन जगन रंजन शोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody loudly. Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radhe. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Sudarshana. Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga. Hari Bol, Nitai Gauranga, Hari Bol. वन मंगल हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, गौर भक्त वृंद की, निरंतरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। वन्दे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानंद सहोदितो गौड़ोदये पुष्पवन्तौ चित्रौ शम्दौ तमोनुधौ। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Welcome all of you. For the Srimad Bhagavatam class this morning, we are reading from the chapter Characteristics of Rishabhadeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The 5th canto, 4th chapter, the verse number 10. It's in prose order. We will try to recite it as much as possible. Tam anu kushavarta iravarto brahmavarto malayah ketur bhadrasena indraspra vidarbha kikata iti navanavati pradhanaha. Following Bharata, there were 99 other sons. Among these were 9 elderly sons named Kushavarta. Ilavarta, Brahmavarta, Malaya, Ketu, Bhadrasena, Indrasprig, Vidarbha, and Kikata. Now the next sense are Navayagendras. Kavir Khavir Antarikshaha Prabuddha Pippalayanaha Avirhotro Tadrumilas Chamasaha Karabhajanaha. Very famous 9 sages. In addition to these sons were Kavi, Havi, Antariksha, Prabuddha, Pippalayana, Avirhotra, Drumila, Chamasa, Karabhajana. These were all very exalted, advanced devotees and authorized preachers of the Srimad Bhagavatam. These devotees were glorified due to their strong devotion to Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, they were very exalted. To satisfy the mind perfectly, I, Shukadeva Goswami, shall hereafter describe the characteristics of these 9 devotees when I discuss the conversation between Narada and Vasudeva. That will come later. Yaviyam saye kashitir jayante yaha pitur adeshakara mahashalina mahashalina mahashrotriya yajnashilaha karma vishuddha brahmana bhavubuhu. See the qualities of these personalities. Yaviyam saha, younger. Ekashitihi, numbering 81. Jayante yaha, sons of Jayanti, the wife of Rishabhadeva. Pituhu, of their father. Adeshakaraha, following the order. Mahashalinaha, well behaved, well cultured. Mahashrotriyaha, extremely learned in Vedic knowledge. Yajnashilaha, expert in performing ritualistic ceremonies. Karma vishuddhaha, very pure in their activities. Brahmanaha, qualified brahmanas. Babhuvuhu, became. In addition to these 19 sons mentioned above, the first 10 became Kshatriyas. Next 9 became Navayogendra, Paramahamsa, Bhagavatas. Now balance how many remaining? 81. Those 81 became Brahmanas. There were 81 younger sons, all born of Rishabhadeva and Jayanti. According to the order of their father, they became well-cultured, well-behaved. So you remember the Sanskrit word, well-cultured. What is the word? Mahashalinaha, and well-behaved. You want to see again? No, that is hearing. See here. Adeshakaraha means they follow the order. Mahashalinaha, well-behaved, well-cultured. Okay? And very learned means Mahashrotriyaha, an expert in performing yajnas. Yajnashilaha, and then pure in their activities. Karma vishuddhaha, and qualified brahmanas. Brahmanaha, okay? Now again I'll ask you now. According to their order of their father, they became well-cultured, well-behaved. What is it? Mahashalinaha, very pure in their activities. Karma vishuddhaha, expert in Vedic knowledge. Mahashrotriyaha, and performance of Vedic rituals. Yajnashalinaha, thus they became all perfectly qualified brahmanas. Purport. Read that. Who has the mic with you? The mic? Yeah. So, anybody argues with you about caste system, you should quote this verse. Please note down this, 5:4:13. This is the verse number. Anybody argues to you about caste system in India, you can quote this verse.
From this verse, we have good information of how the castes are qualified according to quality and work.
That means according to your quality and work, your caste is decided not by birth. Just like son of a doctor is not doctor, son of a lawyer is not a lawyer, son of engineer is not an engineer, unless one has the work and the quality. Quality is present in you and work is the type of engagement you take up. Both are required to assess somebody to be a particular category of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Next.
A king was certainly a Kshatriya. He had 100 sons, and out of this, 10 were engaged as Kshatriyas and ruled the planet. Nine sons became good preachers of Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahabhagavatas, and this indicates that they were above the position of Brahmanas. The other 81 sons became...
Because the 9 Navagendras, they are beyond the Varnasrama. Beyond Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra is called the Paramahamsas, Mahabhagavatas. Yeah.
The other 81 sons became high qualified Brahmanas. These are some practical examples of how one can become fit for a certain type of activity by qualification, not by birth. All the sons of Maharaj Rishabhadeva were Kshatriyas by birth, but by quality some of them became Kshatriyas, some became Brahmanas, and 9 became preachers of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavat Dharma Darshana, which means that they were above the category of Kshatriya and Brahmana.
So, there is one famous verse you all might have heard. Janmana jayate shudraha samskarat bhaved dvija. And then Veda pathat bhaved vipra brahma janati iti brahmana. There are 4 things. You'll repeat that verse. Janmana jayate shudraha samskarat bhaved dvija. Veda pathat bhaved vipra Brahma janati iti brahmanaha. What is the meaning? First line says, by birth everybody is a Shudra, it says. Second line it says, Veda patat bhavet vipra. If you can recite the Vedic mantras precisely, you are called as a Vipra. And then it says, Brahma janati iti brahmanaha, it says. That means if you not only recite the Vedic mantras expertly, but you know the meaning of them. You know the meaning and you live by it, and exhibiting all the qualities like it's mentioned here, Brahma Shalinaha, Brahma, and then Yajna Shalinaha, Shilaha, all those words are used. So then one is a Brahmana. So you become Brahmana by dint of your qualifications, qualities, and by your work, whether if you are doing that. Nowadays there are many people having the name Dvivedi, Chaturvedi, Trivedi. If you ask them what are the names of 4 Vedas, they don't know the names also. They will not be able to correctly say what are the 4 Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samveda, Atharvaveda, even that they don't know. But they call Chaturvedi now. Only title is there. Some people have the title Mahajan. The name is, you heard that name? Some people have surname. In the scientific conference, His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj had invited many scientists across the country. So there was one scientist who came to give a presentation with coat, suit, boot, tie and everything. So he shook hands with our Maharaj. The Maharaj asked him, what's your name? He said, I'm Goswami, he said. His name was Goswami. He has a title Goswami, but he may not exactly know what Goswami is. Goswami is one, Go means senses, Swami means master. One who has controlled his senses and mind. One has become free from the pushings and pullings of the lust, anger and greed and all the 6 Vegams which are mentioned in Upadeshamrita. He is called as a Goswami. So, many people have their surnames, but they don't have, activities of what a Brahmana should be doing. Or nowadays, many of the children, even in South India, many parents would be more proud to say that my son is studying abroad. They are born in Brahmana families. They do even Gayatri also, they give them. They may do Trisandhya when they are in India. Morning, afternoon, evening. But when they go to America, they give up the Gayatris, they start eating out in hotels, and sometimes I'm even ashamed to say that sometimes some of them may get into unknowingly eating even beef also. It's a very unfortunate thing. Because in America you cannot get, anywhere you eat anything, there is some meat piece in that. Even pizza you get, there is pieces of meat in that. Everything you get outside. Because these children, when they go abroad, they don't know how to cook. They are very busy in their studies also. So their intelligence is used for coding or AI. But their intelligence is not used for studying the Shastra and living by these qualities which are mentioned here. In the Vedic times, the best intelligence was utilized for study of the scriptures and enlightening the mass of people. It's a duty of the intelligent class. If you see the body, we have the head, we have the hands, we have the belly, and we have the legs. These four are compared to Brahmanas, then Kshatriya, then Vaishya is belly, and Shudras at the leg. Why this four comparison is given? It's a very deep science it is. Like you see, Brahmanas can give vision to the world. They can give upadesh with the mouth. They can listen very well to people. First they listen well, understand the situation very well before they give judgment of anything. They can smell the grievances happening in society, unspoken feelings and unexpressed emotions. They can smell the grievances. How many of you can smell the halwa burning in the kitchen? Any of you? You have a long nose? You need a long nose to smell. Some people can smell that, isn't it? Similarly, Brahmanas are those who can smell the grievances in society, people in society. They can listen to the people speaking out their grievances. They are very mature. They can give vision to the world. Where are we now? Where do we want to go? And what is the trajectory we should take? So Brahmanas are those who can give direction. See, every one of the senses. Most importantly, the brain. Brain controls all the different parts of the body. So the Brahmanas actually are supposed to possess the wisdom necessary for running a whole society. Therefore, Brahmanas are compared to the head. Similarly, Kshatriyas are compared to the arms. Why arms? Imagine if some object is falling on you, what do you do? Do you show your head like this? If you show your head, head will go inside. Isn't it? How do you stop a falling object? What do you do? How do you stop it? Immediately bring the hand. That is why Kshatriyas are compared to hands. As soon as there is a danger, or somebody comes to slap you or beat you, how do you retaliate? The hand. Isn't it? That's why Kshatriyas are compared to that. Isn't it? So, similarly, if you want to lift a heavy object, how do you lift? You don't lift with the leg, you lift with the hand. So, you will see the hand is meant for defending and protecting the body. Therefore, Kshatriyas are compared to the arms. And Vaishyas are compared to the belly. Why? Because belly is the place where you put the food, which is converted into blood and then sent to the heart for pumping all over the body. It nourishes all the parts of the body. Similarly, Vaishyas give charity to Brahmins. They give tax to the Kshatriyas. They give food, clothing, shelter to the Shudras. Therefore, the stomach is the place which supplies to the entire body. So, they do cow protection, trading, farming and everything. Economy is generated by the Vaishyas. Therefore, Brahmana is called as the man of letters. Kshatriya is called as man of valor. And Vaishya is called as man of economy and develops economy. And the Shudras, like the legs are lifting the belly, arms and the head, everything is lifted by the Shudras, by the legs, and then only leg can walk from place to place. So the Shudras are those who assist the previous three classes. For example, Brahmana wants to put up a yajna, then they can arrange everything, bring bricks and everything, all those things arranged, isn't it? Similarly, Kshatriyas want foot soldiers, infantry, horse soldiers and all. The Shudras only take up the role. Similarly, Vaishyas want some people to work in the field, tend to the needs of the cow and everything. So the Shudras assist. Shudras are generally those, they don't apply their thinking, but they apply their senses for acting as they are guided. They just, jo bola so karo, we say. Do as you are told to do. That much they can do. For some people that goes very easy. If you are told to do something, it's very easy. You tell him, think and do. They say, I can't think. Okay, you don't have to think. The previous three classes tell you what to do, then you do it. So these are the four categories of people. So in this way, in one family only, there are three categories here. You can see here, in one family. The first 10 sons of Rishabhadeva became Kshatriyas. The next 9 became Navayogendras. The next 81 Navayogendras, they became Paramahamsas, beyond the 4 Varnasrama. They became pure devotees. The next 81 became Brahmanas. That means in one family only Kshatriya, Brahmana both are there. Although they are all born to Kshatriya king, you can see that. Like you can see, Our Dronacharya was born in which family? Brahman family. But he acted as a Kshatriya. And you find Vishwamitra is a King Kaushik. But he acted eventually as Brahmana and then Brahma Rishi he became. That means you can see that by birth one may be a Kshatriya or a Brahmana, but by one's quality of quality and activity, one may exhibit a different. That's why one should see that. I'll show you one verse which Narada speaks in the Bhagavatam. Yeah, I can recite this verse. Yasya lakshanam proktam pumso varnabhivyanjakam yad anyatrapi drishyeta tattenaiva vinirdishet. See what he is saying. If one shows the symptom of being a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra as described above, even if he has appeared in a different class, he should be accepted according to those symptoms of classification. See, Prabhupada says here it is clearly stated by Narada Muni that one should not be accepted as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra according to birth, for although this is going on now, it is not accepted by the Shastras. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvarnya Maya Srishtam Gunakarma Vivagashah. Thus, the four divisions of society, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, are to be ascertained according to the qualities and activities. If one was born in a Brahmana family and has acquired the Brahminical qualifications, he is to be accepted as a Brahmana. Otherwise, he should be considered a Brahma Bandhu. Similarly, if a Shudra acquires the qualities of a Brahmana, although he was born in a Shudra family, he is not a Shudra because he has developed the qualities of a Brahman. He should be accepted as a Brahmana. The Krishna consciousness movement is meant to develop these Brahminical qualities. Regardless of the community in which one was born, if one develops the qualities of a Brahmana, he should be accepted as a Brahmana. And he then may be offered the order of sannyasa. Unless one is qualified in terms of Brahminical symptoms, one cannot take sannyas. In designating a person as a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra, birth is not the essential symptom. This understanding is very important. Herein, Narada Muni distinctly says that one may be accepted according to the caste of his birth if he has the corresponding qualifications, but otherwise he should not be. One who has attained the qualifications of a Brahmana, regardless of where he was born, should be accepted as a Brahmana. Similarly, if one has developed the qualities of a Shudra or a Chandala, regardless of where he was born, he should be accepted in terms of those symptoms. So, when Vedavyasa saw the world at the beginning of Kali Yuga, this is what he saw. Bhaktikanam cha bhavanam shakti hrasam cha tatkritam ashraddadhanan nisatvan durmedhan khatisashah durbhagams cha janan vikshya munir divye chakshusha Sarvavarnashramanam ya dadyo hitamamo. See, Vedavyasa is saying in the beginning of Kali Yuga, what is that? Bhauktikanam, all that is made up of matter, bhavanam shakti hrasam. In everything, the strength became reduced, he says. Like power of sight becomes reduced, so people have to wear spectacles. Power of bones become reduced. And the potency in the food also becomes weak in this age. Therefore, people eat food, but they don't get strength. He says everything was going down in Kali Yuga. He saw that. Deterioration of natural power, Shakti Hrasam, he says. Tatkritam, rendered by that. Ashraddadanan, people were faithless. Nisatman, impatient due to want of Satuguna. Durmedhan, Medha means intelligence. Durmedhan means dull-headed. Khrasita Ayushaha, their Ayush became reduced, which means lifespan became short in Kali Yuga. People die nowadays. People get even heart attack in 25, 30 also nowadays. Many people. People die also early, dengue or something. Many other things also. Yeah. People have hundreds of reasons to leave the body nowadays. So, Ayush becomes reduced. Durbhagam, very unlucky. Janan, Vikshya, Muni, Divyena Chakshusha, with divine eyes, Vedavyas could see the nature of Kali Yuga. That means people are born Shudra and they remain Shudras. They don't come to Brahminical status by leading a pure life. Therefore, he decided that I should give transcendental knowledge now by which people of Kali Yuga can wake up. So, you can see Srila Prabhupada is very unique Acharya. Before Prabhupada going to West, in India I remember there are two people in South India. South India has one personality called Subramanya Bharati. So he was a revolutionary personality. So he told the people living in the slums, why do you have to think you are low class? I will make you a Brahmana, come here. He got hundreds of sacred threads and started putting, everybody called and put sacred threads. Today onwards you are also Brahman. I declare you as a Brahman. Be as proud as a Brahmana. Like that he said. And the same manner Gandhiji there in Gujarat, Porbandar. So he also started another movement. He said, nobody in this world is despicable or abominable. Ultimately, all are dear children of Lord Hari. So, I will declare your name to be the people of Lord Hari, which is called as Hari Jan. That name was coined by Gandhiji. And then he also declared them to be worthy of respect like anybody else, which is very good. Because all these people, great leaders, wanted to bring about social respectability for those who were neglected and who were not allowed into the temples. Later on, next to Gandhiji, there was also Jamanalal Bajaj also. These are all revolutionary social reformers. They wanted to bring about such thing. And also, Gandhi opened one Radhakrishna temple in Nawakhali in Bangladesh. And he said, if other temples are not allowing you inside, we will allow you. Into our Radhakrishna temples you can come, which is nice. He opened temples, otherwise people are getting converted to other religions, not allowed to come to the temple. And you may have a question, why Brahmanas were so proud that they didn't allow people to come into the temples? Because they were doing this casteism, and that is why today many educated boys and girls have such a very wrong idea of the caste system. They think that the Brahmana is exploited in the ancient times. But Brahmanas had their reason why they didn't allow the lower class people to come, because these people would pass urine and they would come to the temple without washing their legs. Sometimes they would spit in the temple everywhere. Even in Jagannath Puri nowadays, they don't allow anybody who's not a Hindu for one reason. Because if people with foreign bodies come there and they're embracing, kissing in the temple campus, that pollutes the environment. Because temple is actually meant to be a place of worship of the Lord. It's supposed to be a holy place where you bow down before Lord. You are supposed to absorb your mind in remembering the Lord, not create some dirty scenes there. So therefore there is some restriction in the temple, but the restriction which was started with a good intention, eventually in this world all good systems get corrupt over a period of time. Some Brahmanas started misapplying it in a fanatical manner, due to which eventually there became a cleavage in the system. The Kshatriyas who did not like this type of treatment, they became Buddhists. And the Vaishyas who did not like the system, they became Jains. And these offshoots came from the Sanatana Dharma. So, and similarly, those who are the Shudras, they were not allowed. They also got converted to many other religions like that. In this way, there became a cleavage in the path of Sanatana Dharma, unfortunately. So, but our ISKCON society, which Srila Prabhupada started, here is a very real revolutionary Srila Prabhupada. What he did, he didn't call people and just put a sacred thread. What he said? First you chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Also follow 4 regulative principles. No illicit sex. By a boy and girl is allowed to marry, but you cannot hang around like dogs in the street. You have to properly marry. Take responsibility for a girl, then only you can keep her with you in your house. Otherwise, you cannot just pick up any girl of your choice and enjoy like a dog enjoys in the street. Because the girl doesn't belong to you. The girl belongs to her father. The father has to give the girl to you in Kanyadan. And you have to do Pani Grahanam. Pani means hand. Grahana means you have to accept the hand of a girl from the father, who is the actual owner of the girl. After that, she belongs to the husband. Nobody can touch a woman who belongs to another husband. So then, in this way, these are all amazing rules in the Vedas. They are so perfectly given by God Himself. So, in this way, no illicit sex, no meat eating, no eating of fish meat, eggs, no gambling, no intoxication like smoking, drinking, drugs, everything. So, from animal platform, you go to human platform and you follow these four regulative principles. From human platform, you go to divine platform by chanting Hare Krishna. In this way, two-step process. Follow the four ways, become a human. Chant Hare Krishna, become divine. And then Prabhupada said, then you get Harinam Diksha after that. Still you are not a Brahmin. And then after 4 or 5 years of practicing, you become cleansed in your activities. Why Brahman Diksha is given in ISKCON? Because Brahman Diksha will impel you to lead a clean life. You have to rise early in the morning, you have to worship the deity, you have to be clean, you have to be punctual, you have to be pure in thought, pure in speech, pure in activities, and dealings, behavior, everything one has to change. So the Brahman Diksha catalyzes our going back to Godhead when we chant the holy name. It acts more like a catalyst. So in ISKCON, the Brahman Diksha comes after 5-6 years or something, sometimes even more also, 10 years also. So in this way, Prabhupada truly made Brahmanas when he gave Brahman Diksha. Unlike simply putting a sacred thread and declaring somebody to be a Brahman. He didn't do like that. So I heard one story that once upon a time, a king was planning to recruit hundreds of people in his palace. So he made an announcement. Anybody wishes to apply for jobs, you are most welcome. So from a village far away, there were 4 friends, they decided to apply and then go and join the king. They submitted an application, but they had to go through a dense jungle to reach the king's place. So early morning they left, hoping to reach there by evening before the sun sets. So when they were walking, they found that the jungle was so dense and thick, the roads were not properly available in those days. So they had to sometimes take a lot of trouble to go through it. So at that time they realized that already the sun was about to set. They were hungry also, almost 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Early morning they had eaten. Now they are wondering that, I think we may have to retire in the forest for the night. What to do? We have to find out a place. After 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, cheetah and all this, tiger, forest animals will start coming out because night time is their time. They'll be awake, searching for prey. So they were a little worried, concerned about it. So immediately one of those 4 men, he said, I know one place, very close to this, there is a river flowing. There is a beautiful Vishnu temple. It's a very auspicious place. Come, let's go there. Maybe we can find out a place to retire there. So they went to that holy spot. They drank some water in the holy pond. And then they rang the bell. They saw the Vishnu temple darshan. And then the mandapam was very small. Not much place there. It was open on all 4 sides. So they thought this may not be a very safe place to stay in the night because forest animals may come. So when they were looking around, one of the 4, he went to the field and brought many, many bamboos and he started aligning them. One after another, like this he was making, and they didn't even know why is he doing, what is he doing, but they were just watching. And the other fellow said, wait a minute, I'll come back. And then he went into the village. And the third fellow, he took some of those bamboos and he had one small knife with him. He was sharpening the bamboos to make them look like a spear. Spear? Sharp. So he made 4 such sticks and he told them, let all 4 of us keep one stick with a sharp end. Any animal comes, you can poke it will run away. He said, just keep it with you. We should not walk without a weapon. We should have some weapon. So in the meantime, the fellow who went to village, he had brought some prasad for all 4 of them. Because he went and met some people and gathered some food, sabji, roti, everything. And for all of them he brought, they were all very happy. They sat in the mandapam and they ate. Meanwhile, the other fellow who was lining up the bamboos, he had already built a very nice cottage for them to stay at night. So everybody slept peacefully without any fear because they made the cottage and locked the door. They slept peacefully. Next day morning, they got up early morning, took a bath in the pond and then they left for that place. So when the king wanted to interview them, he asked four of them, hey, you guys are coming from such far away village. What time you left yesterday and how did you arrive? They said, yes, my dear king, we couldn't reach yesterday evening. We had to retire. And then the king asked, but it's a very dense jungle. How did you manage? They told the king what they did. King said, immediately I absorb all of you in my job, he said. Because you guys know how to celebrate diversity. Huh? Because you had four diverse talents. Huh? One of you who found out the Vishnu temple, who is he? He's a Brahman, isn't it? And the other fellow who was keeping all the bamboos in a line and gradually made a cottage, who is he? Huh? No, Shudra. One who took the bamboos and sharpened the end and gave them one stick. Kshatriya. One who went and gathered prasad and brought and gave. Vaishya, correct, no? So the king said, all the four fellows, you had four diverse talents. The best thing is you are friends. You are not quarreling with each other. Huh? So because you are friends, I will absorb all four of you into my job because all these four talents are needed in any kingdom for a kingdom to very successfully run. In our body also, imagine if two hands are not there, how difficult will it be for us to live? Huh? Or if leg is not there, you can't commute from place to place. Huh? Similarly, of course, sometimes you can have a handless body or a legless body. You can't have a headless body walking. Huh? Head is most required. So Prabhupada said, modern day society is like a headless society, he said. Because there is no guidance. People are just living life foolishly like two-legged animals. They have no knowledge of what is life, what is God, what is the meaning of life, purpose of life, goal of life. Huh? So very dangerous society in the midst of which we are all living. Huh? So that's why Prabhupada has given us his books. Read the books, understand them, digest them, live these books and then teach these books also. Huh? Otherwise, there is so much of chaos. Huh? So much of chaos in every level because of there is no proper family or brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyas. There is no proper training. Because of which people are becoming corrupt in their character and not even aware of what qualities to cultivate. It's very amazing for us how Prabhupada, even in the midst of this age, he has written books in which he has very exhaustively conveyed the right type of lifestyle. Huh? So when you read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam purports, you can see, Prabhupada is so kind that he has enlightened even in this age people who have no clue of what meaning of life, goal of life is. So here, Rishabhadeva begot 100 sons, and the first son he made him the primary king. And the 9 Kshatriyas also assisted him, so that Bharata, the first son, after whom our India was named as Bharatavarsha. Before that name was Ajanabavarsha. Ajanabavarsha became Bharatavarsha after the Bharat. So that Bharat, although he was the main king, he also divided the world amongst his 9 brothers and gave them all different portions to rule. In this way, everybody had their own role to play. And they all very happily ruled, very obediently and cooperatively lived with their eldest brother. And the 9 Yogendras, they didn't need a kingdom. They didn't need even a place to reside. They didn't even need a dress also. They were avdutas. Only directions were their dress. They come flying. If you read the 11th canto, they were Siddha Purushas. They came flying to King Maharaj Nimi's Vedic sacrifice, and then very, very beautiful question answers happen in the 11th canto. When Nimi Maharaj is asking questions and these Navagendras are one by one, Kavir and all of them, they are all answering the questions. And the other 81 Brahmanas, their vritti was naturally chanting the Vedic mantras and becoming like Purohit, benefiting the mass of people by Brahminical culture. So in this way, in one family itself, there are Kshatriyas, Brahmanas, Paramahamsas. So Prabhupada says the Vedic verdict is very clear that you are not categorized based on birth. You are categorized based on qualities and activities. So can we take some 5-minute questions? Anybody? Yes, please give the mic to him.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. First of all, I will give you an example. From that example, I will ask the question. One flight is flying in the sky. Flight is flying in the sky. Aeroplane.
Kite. Okay.
Flight
is flying. Okay.
In the sky. All of a sudden, engine stopped working. Everybody came to know that they are going to die within few minutes. Except one little girl who sat in the chair with peaceful mind and with smiling face. One person went to her and asked her, everybody is bewildered, screaming, shouting like anything. How we can be this much of smiling face and peaceful like this? She replied, Pilate is my father. He knows very well how to save me. Because in any situation he can save me. He has full confidence on her. Lot of confidence, full confidence on him. So that my question is, in our hard conditions, hard times, how can you believe Krishna in this way? I mean, fully surrender, fully confident. And Kunti Maharani also asked Krishna, give problems, troubles to me in my life. So otherwise I will forget you. Kunti Maharani asked her. That's why the thing is how to build up that much of confidence on Krishna and surrender to Krishna. I want to brief one long explanation about this one. Thank you.
The first step is that you identify your mentor, under whose guidance you study Prabhupada's books nicely, come to the temple regularly. Because sometimes you come to temple, here you can see boys, girls come in big number. The evening you find 500-600 people are coming. Many of them are pious families. They come and take darshan and go. But sometimes some of them are coming for 4 or 5 years, not connected to anybody. So you just don't get much ahead. Like you go to a hospital, just move around the hospital, see the facilities and go back home. You don't get cured. You have to connect with the doctor. And if you go to the, first of all, doctor has to diagnose you also, check you at this thing, and then he'll give you a medicine. Similarly, if you meet one of the devotees and tell them, Prabhu, I want to grow in my spiritual life, please can you put me in a weekly class? We have boys program, we have girls program going on. So one should connect with some devotee in the temple. And then once you're connected, then one should weekly program, one should regularly attend. And then you can start chanting Hare Krishna. And you can do 3 things, A, B, C. A for association weekly once. B for Bhagavad Gita 1 page a day. C for chanting 1 round a day. Begin with that. 1 round will take you 10 minutes. 1 page will take you 5 minutes. So 15 minutes out of 24 hours. Not a big deal. And weekly 1 program. Start with this ABC program. So once you start with this basic, you are investing your little time in Krishna consciousness. I can assure you, just keep coming for a year, 1 year like that. You will not have this question. What you asked today. You won't have this question because just like watering a plant makes the plant grow eventually and produce fruit. Similarly, Krishna consciousness, if you faithfully hear and then apply the teachings, you will grow very fast. Some people may say, no, I am coming more than 3 years, 5 years. There is no change in me. The reason is, people take the medicine and keep it in the cupboard. They don't eat the medicine. Unless they suffer. Again, they go running to doctor. Doctor, again my stomach is aching. Doctor will first ask him, are you taking medicine? No, it's in the cupboard. Go and take it, he will say. So people give up chanting. People give up weekly program. People don't read Prabhupada books. But then they get caught up in the worldly duties, many things. I know that worldly duties are dragging us, but no matter how busy we may be, 15 minutes a day is not a big deal. 1 round and 5 minutes. So we begin with this. You show some interest in God, and then He will enlighten you. He will arrange everything for you. Just like you told about the little girl, she had faith in her father. Similarly, whatever little faith one has in God, the preliminary steps I am telling you. If you really say that yes, I have faith in God, you come to the temple now. The next step is connect with the devotee and connect with the weekly class, because you need to enlighten yourself. Like you want to become an engineer, 4 years people study 50 papers. And to get into the 4 engineering, you have to study another 15 years. Correct, no? Imagine, just to get 1 engineering degree, 1 paper, for that you have to study 20 years in your life. And getting God is not a joke. So, if you really want to be peaceful like that little girl who was peaceful because of her father, you will definitely get the shelter of God, you can be peaceful. Like many of us brahmacharis you see in Saffron, we don't have a bank balance, we don't have a job, and we don't know who will give food tomorrow. But we have faith that Radha Madan Mohan will take care. So, there are people even with bank balance who are so much intense. Like one man has got 5 crores, he's saying, I am worried whether it will be enough, he's saying. So, because you will see that if we regularly take input of Prabhupada's books, all this faith will come. Varnasrama was sitting behind, you can see that. Varnasrama Prabhu, once he was telling, he has a wife and he has a daughter also. He has been in Calcutta president before, then he's a Bangalore president, now he's a convener of the 3 presidents here. Once he was telling, even as a grihastha, he said, what do we need? He said, you need to be in a room where you have a roof. Huh? And then you have some little prasad two times a day to eat. You know? And that's all. With this, you can go on with life. Huh? He says you don't need a very big bank balance. He's very, very free from anxiety. He doesn't worry about, even a married man, I'm saying. We are all brahmacharis, but he is having a wife and daughter also. He has no worry because he is Krishna conscious. The more you become Krishna conscious, the anxiety will go far away. It's like when sun is up in the sky, there is no darkness. When there is no darkness, there is no fear of thieves. There is no fear of scorpion or snakes. But when the sun is not in the sky, imagine Amavasya night, you'll be afraid. So my suggestion to you, begin bringing that sun in the sky. How? With connecting with the devotee, attending a weekly program, chanting the holy name. Very easy. Make sense? Yeah.
So, got it. And one more thing, Prabhuji, you said, caste system is a very good thing in ISKCON because we don't have follow caste system.
Everybody is allowed here.
I know, I previously I came to know that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Actually, today is also Ishvara Puri's appearance day. We'll recite this one shloka here. You can see here. Please recite this verse. Madhavendra Purira Shishya Sri Ishvara Puri Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhava Murti Mahashayi. So he's saying, there was some great soul, Madhavendra Puri, was a very great personality, embodiment of love for Krishna. So he was a disciple, Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhava Murti Mahashayi, he says. Guru Seva Haya Sadhakera Ati Pradhan Guru Santoshile Krishna Santosha Haya Nana. So service of spiritual master is the highest duty of a sadhaka. When Guru is pleased, Krishna is also pleased. So Ishvara Puri is known for his humility and his devotion to Guru and Krishna, and his dealing with his Guru, especially when his Guru was in the bed, he was washing his stool and urine, he was reading Krishna's pastimes for him. He was extremely humble, and Guru became very pleased with his service. He blessed Ishvara Puri, saying that may your heart become filled with love for Krishna. And that exactly happened. By those blessings, Ishvara Puri grew up into a very great, pure devotee. So much so that when Krishna appeared as Lord Chaitanya, he decided to take initiation from Ishvara Puri. So one day, in the Navadvip, in those days the leader was Advaitacharya Prabhu, of all the Vaishnavas in Navadvip. So Advaitacharya Prabhu used to have a Bhagavatam study circle in his house. So all the Vaishnavas used to come. So they all gathered and were discussing Bhagavatam. Suddenly Advaitacharya said, I am feeling there is some very great soul just outside the house who is listening to the Bhagavatam. Let us stop for a moment, let us find out. So he just went outside the house and there was Ishvara Puri sitting on the ground hearing the Bhagavatam. So he asked, who are you? Ishvara Puri said, I am servant of the servant. That's all he said. Dasyarana Das. He didn't even tell his identity. But very soon everybody came to know he is that great Ishvara Puri, disciple of Madhavendra Puri. Then he took him by the hand and called him inside and made him sit. And everybody offered him obeisances and glorified him. And then he stayed 7 months in Navadvip. So at that time, Gadadhar Pandit used to invite Ishvara Puri to his house. In the whole night they would be discussing on one book called as Sri Krishna Leelamritam. This book was compiled by Ishvara Puri based on all the Krishna's pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam. So every day in the night, whole night they would be reciting that, singing also and also reciting verses also. At that time, Gadadhar Pandit would invite Nimai Pandit to his place. So some of the classes given by Ishvara Puri, I came to know that Nimai Pandit also attended. And that is where Nimai Pandit, who was earlier a Tarkika Shiromani, his heart started melting by hearing from Ishvara Puri. One day Ishvara Puri was coming in the road, Nimai Pandit was coming in the opposite side. And Nimai Pandit crossed the road and went and met Ishvara Puri, offered him obeisances and said, My dear sir, please come to my home, take prasad. I am fortunate to meet you on the way. Can you please visit? Immediately Ishvara Puri agreed. He went to the place of Nimai Pandit. So whatever was cooked for him, for Nimai Pandit, he offered all that food, all the rice he offered, all the vegetables, everything. Ishvara Puri said, keep something for yourself. He said, no, everything he offered him. And then Ishvara Puri accepted the prasad. In this way he got Guru Seva also. He offered service to Guru and he heard from Guru also. So till then, Nimai Pandit's quality, everybody knows. Nimai is none other than Krishna only. But he behaved in a very amazing way in Navadvip, that people of Navadvip would see his beautiful, charming face, would be like a full moon with long flowing hair, curly hair, and his eyes were like two bumblebees, and there will be a sacred thread passing through his body. Always when he would be walking in Navadvip, he would be surrounded by his friend, by the students, like a moon surrounded by stars, or Krishna in the bank of Yamuna doing Manaboj, surrounded by his covered friends. Like that, Nimai Pandit would be going to the bank of Ganga. In those days, the Brahmanas would have a Chatushpati. Under every tree, there will be a Brahmana sitting with 20-30 students and teaching. Amongst all the teachers who lived in Navadvip, who was most famous? Nimai Pandit was the most famous. Everybody wanted to learn Nyaya from him. So, in this way, Nimai Pandit was very charming to look at. Many Vaishnavas would come near him, attracted by his beauty, because there is no difference between Shyam Sundar and Gaur Sundar. The personality is same. But then the moment he would open his mouth talking Nyaya, all the Vaishnavas would run away. They were not interested to hear anymore. And they all would say, if only Nimai becomes a devotee one day, he will make thousands and thousands of Vaishnavas in this world. He is so intelligent, he is so charming in his speech and presentation and logic. We wish one day he becomes a devotee. One day when Nimai Pandit was walking on the road, Shivas Thakur came and he stopped right in front of him and said, Nimai, you are carrying all these books of Nyaya, throw them away. Just chant Krishna's names and become a devotee right now, today itself. He would say like that. And Nimai Pandit offered obeisances and said, by your mercy, one day I will become a devotee. And he smiled. In this way, one of the days when Nimai Pandit was surrounded with his friends and walking on the road, Mukunda came on the opposite side. As soon as he saw Nimai Pandit, he took a U-turn and ran back. Nimai Pandit called, hey Mukunda, why you are running away? And then his students told, maybe Mukunda must have forgotten something at home. He must have gone to take it. And Nimai laughed and said, see, these Vaishnavas like Mukunda, they don't like to do any prajalpa. They don't like any mundane talk. He knows that if he comes to me, I will do some argument on Nyaya with him. Therefore, he has run away. And then he loudly shouted within the hearing of Mukunda. He said, hey Mukunda, one day I'll become such a Vaishnava, even Brahma and Shiva will want to associate with me. He said. In this way, Brahma is Haridas Thakur and Shiva is Advaita Acharya. They both associated with them in future. So in this way, Nimai Pandit was always the apple of the eye of everybody in Navadvip. Only thing is, Vaishnava's heart was broken to see him not chant the holy name and not behave like a Vaishnava. Until one day he went to Gaya to perform the Shraddha for his father Jagannath Mishra, who had passed away. So there, when Nimai Pandit, in Gaya, there is a temple called Vishnupadi Mandir. Even today you will find there is a Vishnupadi Mandir. There's a lotus feet of Vishnu in the middle. And all the Brahmanas were surrounding it. And they were all offering flowers like Laksharchana we do, no? Like Brahmanas were glorifying. At that time, Nimai Pandit sat down there in the temple and he heard also. These are the same lotus feet which are massaged by Lakshmi, goddess of fortune. These are the same lotus feet which Lord placed on the head of Bali Maharaj and made him a great Mahajan. These are the same lotus feet from which Ganga Devi is flowing, which has become so sacred that even Lord Shiva wanted to accept it on his head because it's flowing from Lord's lotus feet. These are the same lotus feet which are capable of making a mountain of sins of the living entities into powder. So like that they were glorifying. As Nimai was hearing it, the more and more and more glories of the lotus feet of the Lord he heard. his heart started raging with love for Lord Krishna. Uncontrollably. At that time, his guru Ishvara entered the temple, and Nimai immediately got up and ran up to him and put his head on his lotus feet and said, "Oh Guru, please give me initiation. This very day, I want to surrender my life to Krishna. I want to surrender to you." Ishvara said, "What are you talking? You are yourself Lord Krishna, who has come in this form. Who am I to initiate you? But if it is your order for me that I should initiate you, then I cannot give up that order. It's my duty to follow whatever you say." So then he initiated him. The moment he was initiated, after that, our Nimai Pandit's behavior completely became transformed. No more Nyaya. He was attracted to Krishna so madly. He became like a Krishna-haunted man, Goloka-haunted man. So from there he came back to Navadvip. When Mother Sachi saw his condition, because on the way there is a Kanyanachala through which he came. In the Kanyanachala there were trees. For the first time he got a glimpse of Krishna's darshan. So like what we read in the Prema Bhakti, in the Madhuri Kadambini, he got the sound of Krishna's flute. He also saw the darshan of Krishna. And Krishna would appear and disappear in front of him. So he developed a Divyonmad, transcendental madness for Krishna. When he came back to Navadvip, he was asking everybody, "Where is my dear Krishna? Did any of you see? Where did he go?" And seeing him crying in love for Krishna, all the Vaishnavas cried. Immediately the next day morning, from the people would go to one garden to pluck flowers to offer to Krishna in the morning. So during plucking of the flowers, Vaishnavas would get to talk to each other. So they said, "Hey, did you hear the news? Nimai Pandit has become a great pure devotee of Krishna now." Oh, everybody said, "I am going to go and see him. Now I have no more fear to see him now. Can go and see him." Lot of people, one by one, Vaishnavas started coming to the house. And he became very, very dear to the heart of all the Vaishnavas. They all took him to Shiva Sangan, and they had the Kirtan, roaring Kirtan there. And then one day he said, "Why only Kirtan in the day? Let us also do Kirtan in the night also." So he used to sing this famous series of names of the Lord. Krishna Rama Mukunda Murari Vanamali, Krishna Rama Murari Vanamali, Murari Vanamali. So in this way he would sing many, many names. This type of names he would sing. These are mentioned in Chaitanya Bhagavat. So also all his students were wondering, when will our teacher come and teach us Nyaya? One day he went to the class and called all the students. He told them how every name has its root in Krishna only. The dhatu, mula dhatu for every Sanskrit word is Krishna. So, and then all day he was explaining them. Evening he asked the boys, "So, my dear boys, did I teach you Sanskrit today? I'm not very sure whether I taught you Sanskrit or did I teach you something else." They said, "You only taught us about Krishna. You told us everything is connected to Krishna only. You have become a much different teacher now. You have become a Krishna conscious teacher now. You are seeing Krishna everywhere." And he told the boys, "Okay, now wind up your books and keep it in the side. Now let us do Sankirtan." And that is the time he started Sankirtan. Hari Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govindaram Shri Madhusudana. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana. In this way, Mahaprabhu sang and made everybody dance. That's how the Sankirtan movement started after that. And this way it went all over the country. The Panchatattva flooded every nook and corner of the country with the chanting of the holy name. So Ishvara Puri is very dear. He was born in Kumarahatta. He is a very dear spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya is Krishna himself, but he still accepts his own devotee as his guru Just like he accepts Sandipani Muni as a guru when he goes to Mathura, no? Like that. So it's very... so in this way he engaged in Guru service. Tabe nila chale ai Ishvara Puri pashe mantra lava kaila Prabhu prakata vilase. Then Mahaprabhu went to Nilachal and received initiation from Ishvara Puri, performing many transcendental pastimes. Ishvara Puri pashe mantra grahana kaila Yara parane haya prema bhakti phala. Mahaprabhu accepted mantra diksha from Ishvara Puri. Simply by remembering him, one attains fruit of prema bhakti. Yeah. So, Ishvara Puri treated his guru just like one respects Krishna. Like that he served humility and devotion. Ishvara Puripad ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Granthrat Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.